Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 28th episode of The Gist with Josh. It is a fine Saturday evening, and I am here to broadcast the message, the truth, the power that we speak against the globalist agenda. Right now, they're shaking. Klaus Schwab, who I believe is a controlled opposition. I don't think he's really the bad guy. It's way too obvious, right? He's shaking. He sees the Just with Josh come online. You know, it's kind of under the radar. It's a low profile show, let's be honest. But it's the technology and the surveillance, the level of depth that these organizations have access to. I wouldn't be surprised if the Just with Josh, ladies and gentlemen, was on the globalists' radar. And unfortunately, I think there might have been a little bit of an issue with YouTube that I won't get into, because God knows if they would, I don't want to say certain naughty words, because then, it might be difficult to see my stuff and whatnot, like censorship and whatnot. But I think I got one of those warnings or whatever for one of my videos talking about a certain subject. Being disabled or whatever, and I think I'm running into some issues, and I'm being forced to evolve essentially. If you've been with the show for a little bit and you've been following the story, or maybe you've been aware, like my TikTok and whatnot, which I was taking advantage of the Chinese system, the Chinese site. I was trying to use the tool against them. I was trying to use their own weapon against them. I was trying to infiltrate, but they caught me. The antibodies, the Chinese government, deep state Beijing operatives, agents, they caught on to me. And when they kicked me off their platform, and I was getting like thousands of views and whatnot on TikTok every video. Not every video, but it was good. It was a good source of, it was a good way to put out like the message in little bite sizes too. Like I would cut out clips and whatnot. But I'm running into issues. I'm getting banned off different things, and I don't even know if that word, like maybe by saying that word, you're more likely to be like surveyed by whatever automated system that probably is kind of like ChatGPT. I don't know if you've ever used ChatGPT, but it has a very interesting like way of forming very realistic sentences and responding in a realistic way. And I wonder if maybe their algorithms are advanced enough that they can interpret audio speaking in real time, translate that into some text, and probably, the way you start talking to ChatGPT sometimes, if you step at a line, the way it works is you can ask the chat AI questions. You can ask it to write a poem about Biden and whatnot. But if you go into too much, if you try and get it to do something like, how do I pick a lock, or how do I do X, like maybe you're talking about crimes, okay? Now the chat is becoming aware of this, and it won't engage in the conversation. It'll say no. It'll say, unfortunately, as part of Microsoft's OpenAI policy, we are not allowed to further discuss this concept and whatnot. So the AI is like the ultimate prude old lady, like that, just like the ultimate church nun, essentially the tyrannical church nun. And I wonder if that's the same algorithms they're using to censor folks like me. And it's been a bit of an issue. So I'm forced to evolve, and I've been looking at some options here. And I'm thinking about, I started up a Gumroad, but what I'm thinking is perhaps I switch over to, maybe I don't want to do Patreon, because I feel like they take percentages and whatnot. It's not as like, Sam Hyde's on Gumroad. If Sam Hyde's on Gumroad, that's probably where you want to be. It's probably as off the grid as it gets. Like they're not, like you can't get banned off Gumroad, and it's super easy to upload files and whatnot. So it would be a great way to kind of archive and keep the show protected. Of course, every episode of the Just with Josh is also uploaded to Rumble, and you can go and view every episode there as well. And I think we're good. I think Rumble is a great service to humanity at this point, because they're providing people with access to another way of archiving their videos. Maybe there's not a huge user base right now like there is on YouTube, so my videos might not be seen as much on Rumble. However, there's a much more supportive system that supports the creativity of comedy and supports the, the creative nature of, trying to joke around or say messed up things. So I'm looking into a couple things like that. There'll probably be a link in the description to my Gumroad. It's $1. It's going to be $1. I'm going to see. I don't know if I'm going to backlog all the episodes. I don't know if I'm just going to start uploading them from the 28th episode of the Just with Josh now. But that's something I'm getting into. And I think it's a wise decision. And I don't think $1 is too much to ask, I figured it was like a symbolic amount, I don't even want it to like allow to have various amounts. I don't think there should be like, I don't want anyone to even be able to donate more than $1. I want to like it to be a measure of my, like a way of keeping track of my own growth and whatnot. Every time I get $1, I'll be like, oh look, it's like a new subscriber on YouTube kind of thing, and I'll be like motivated, like a little dopamine. Like I'm one of those like webcam girls with one of those pink things inside of them that ding every time they, get paid $1. Maybe I'll get one of those set up. Sit in front of a camera, that would be nice. You guys would probably pay for that. Look at me, look how cute I am. Nice blunt boy like me, nice Catholic boy. See me in my true light, in my limelight. Get to see that bussy. But I've been thinking about it, ladies and gentlemen, and there's nothing sexier on a woman, all right, than a little mouth herpes. Okay, it's natural. Hot. Okay, I'm not talking like some hooker or some whore. Okay, but there's an argument to be made. But I'm just saying, if you have like, you know how your people are into average girls. Not beautiful girls, but a girl who's average. Like, there's nothing sexier than a girl who is average. Like who does it well. You know what I mean? Almost more beautiful than Ivanka Trump, who looks like she could shoot you with her face. Like, her face could probably shoot lasers or blood like one of those fucking lizards, okay? And she's hot, okay? It's hot. But I'm just saying, it's almost nice to have a more homely type of woman. And that there's something really beautiful about that. And in the same sense, I think the herpes, just like, I'm not talking about like a full-on breakout, but you see like a beautiful, you see a beautiful lady, okay, and maybe she's average, but she's kind of bodacious, okay, but then she has like beautiful hair, and she's like not wearing makeup because she's like, she doesn't give a shit, but then she has like a little dap of like mouth herpes, just like a little, that's like the chef's kiss, all right, that's like God did that. And I don't know, how it's like there's, it's like the yin and yang. It's like the white dot and the black dot. Like, you can't have one without the other. You can't have beauty without ugliness. You can't have good without bad. You can't have evil without good, and vice versa. So, like, I think that the mouth herpes on a beautiful woman is like the dot, the black dot, and the yin and the yang. It's like the white dot and the black, And I think it's like a beautiful symbol of balance, If you're one of these women, all right, and you got like that, and you fit that description, bang my line, okay? Bang my line. All right, I'll answer. All right, I'll answer to anybody that bangs my line nowadays. But there's a survey that was done, apparently. We just got done with Valentine's Day, so happy belated Valentine's Day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure my audience especially had a very romantic Valentine's Day. But there was a survey allegedly done, this is being reported by Toronto News, that MetLife pet insurance shows that 42% of those surveyed would rather spend Valentine's Day with their pets, while 78% of people consider their pet to be their child. Wow, 42% of people would rather spend Valentine's Day with their pet cat, with their pet dog, while 78% would consider their pet to be their child. 78% of people consider their pet to be their child. Okay. And 69% love their pets more than they love most people. What the fuck? What's wrong with these people? 42. You're telling me 42% of people would rather spend Valentine's Day with their pet? Isn't this like bestiality? Shouldn't there be like laws against this? Like what are they trying to say here? Who's MetLife? Like, is this some kind of MetLife pet insurance? These guys obviously have a vested interest. I don't have to point that out. MetLife, okay. But to say that 42% of people, or to say that 60, even more than that, to say that 78% of people consider their pet to be their child, like, is that not like crazy? Is that not insane? Like, these millennials think they're cute. They think that it's cute. Oh, I would rather spend Valentine's Day with my pet. My pet is like my child. Some of these people have real children. They think they're cute. These fucking millennials. And you know what? You see these people out in the wild. These people that would rather spend Valentine's Day with their fucking pet. They make them wear these stupid fucking little scarves and shit. Then another person, okay? 42% of people, 78% of people consider their child, and 69% of people love their pets more than they love people. There is not a more androgynous, petty, fat, lazy, stupid generation of humans known to existence. Could you imagine if you went back to the reign of the Khan, okay? Imagine you were a village on the steppe. You're not even the Great Khan, but you just know he's coming because he's been doing rounds, all right? And then half the village is just talking about their pets, and they're saying that they love their pets more than people. And then the Khan's just like flying, like downpouring arrows on them, and they're just petting their dogs. They're just petting their dogs. Like the family, or imagine like you were in Mesopotamia, like Sumerian ancient civilization, and the family unit was breaking down, okay? There was no more, like all the market was crashing in the Mesopotamian, the Babylonians, they begin to worship the individual idols, okay? But no, not even that. No, the dogs, like my pets, like they're playing with their cats and stuff. They're putting their cats in those bubble backpacks. And they're walking around with their cats in their backpack like they're cute. That's what this is all about. This is all about them thinking they're cute. The Russians are fighting for their life. They're fighting for their lifeblood. They don't walk around with cats and little bubble bags, I don't think. They're not into that. They don't love animals more than they love people. And the Chinese certainly don't. They'll eat their pets, And the funny thing is, we all know these people are lying. It's not true. They're not going to love their animals more. They would eat their animals if they had to. These same people who are like, oh, I would rather spend Valentine's Day with my cat than a fellow human being, are the same people that would get like a little hungry after a food shortage and like eat the cat. They'd be like, oh yeah, he was really cool and shit, but like I was so hungry. And they wouldn't even talk about it. They would probably lie about it. They would say, no, I didn't eat my cat. But those are those people. They're insane. They think they're cute. They're not cute. All right. And now it's the same people that are inside playing that stupid Harry Potter game. I was holding out for it. I thought it was gonna be cool. Excuse me while I take a swig of my pixie stick. Delightful. They're at home now playing that stupid Harry Potter game. I'm a gamer. I play good games. You want to know a good game? City Skylines with all the DLC. That's a good game. Not Sims 4 or whatever that bullshit is. You want another good game? Stellaris, the great grand strategy game. You want another one? Kenshi. You want another one? Portal 2. You want another one? Half-Life 2. You want another one? Fortnite, actually, lately I've been actually, I'm ashamed to say it, but I've been playing Fortnite. I could keep going on, I really could. But this Harry Potter game is not a good game, and it's, if you've been playing these games, you've been seeing what kind of games are coming out. It kind of is reminiscent of one of those Star Wars games, or like it's trying to be like, it's like one of those, they create like, it's like Assassin's Creed, like one of those games that they just shit out. And then it's like, oh, you upgrade your weapons, you level up, you go around, you talk to the other NPCs, you do the quests, you'll go through the story, there's cutscenes, and then you level up, and it's boring, basic bullshit. And a bunch of non-gamers, okay, frankly, and I'm getting on my fucking horse here, okay? These non-gamers and these feminists, these women who wear round glasses, okay, who think they're Harry Potter, frankly, they think they're witches in some capacity. They think they have the power to, like, use crystals and shit to, like, read your mind, okay? They think that voodoo dolls work. That is how demented these people are. Also, these people, like, half of these people are probably the same people that would rather spend Valentine's Day with their fucking dog, okay? And they're sitting at home, and they're doing the Expecto Patronum, and they're going around in their big NPC house, and they're playing this dumb game, you know. And I'm mad, okay, because these companies don't deserve money, number one, and number two, these people shouldn't be happy, okay. They shouldn't be happy playing a subpar game. They shouldn't be able to find enjoyment, okay. And I'm pissed about it. You know, should I not like be deprived by their happiness and enjoyment of this subpar product because I am a true gamer? Damn, I'm about to tip my fedora. I'm about to go put my fedora on right now. You know, I'm about to put my fucking fedora on. Yeah, Klaus Schwab is shaking right now. He is so shaken because he knows, like, I'm dispersing the words and language necessary to defeat the globalists, and there's nothing they can do about it. They're literally shaking. We're coming. You know, don't tread on us. We're not going to lay down like naked dead bodies, okay? And these elites, they come together, and you know what they're saying? They're saying that one of the announcements that he made, and he was wearing his vest with his pin, and he was actually wearing like a vocoder, you know, like Darth Vader. No, he wasn't. But and he said that, you know, the elites need to master the advanced technologies, warning that if they don't, you know, act swiftly, the world could escape from their power. What the fuck? Dude, you need to chill out, okay? Escape from your power? Whoa. You need to chill. Like, this guy is like, I would love to, if I could, you know, when people say, like, if you could have dinner with one person in the world, who would you have dinner with? I would have dinner with that motherfucker. I don't care. I think he's a false, a planted opposition or whatever the fuck they're called. I think he's the fake. He's not the guy we're supposed to be worried about, but he's the guy they're making us worried about, kind of thing. But I would love to talk to him and kind of just get an idea of, fuck, I would have been so pissed if I wasn't recording. Because that happens sometimes, ladies and gentlemen. I would be so, Klaus Schwab, I would love to talk to him. I would love to pick his brain, pick his noodle. And maybe he could enlighten me. You know, maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe I'm just too poor and stupid and white to get it, you know? It's been the case before. Actually, it's the case more often than not nowadays. But I think that there's going to be a resurgence. No matter what. It's like the herpes. It's like the chef's kiss on the herpy lady, okay? On the woman. It's like the herpy being the chef's kiss, okay? You have to have the good and the evil. You have to have the globalist new world order that's like dystopian. But then on the other side, you have like the utopian, like unified against tyranny, free people. I was listening to this crazy chant on Instagram, and it almost reminded me of the Canadian national anthem, but instead of it being like it was in the lyrics, it was talking about, like, embedded in the lyrics of this anthem was the crimes that are being laid against us as a mass population, these corruptions, this xerocratic type policy against its citizens, This totalitarian and this misuse of funds, this printing of money, this, subjecting of people through appropriation of currency and manipulation of currency. And then also manipulating local law and the legal system to actually kneecap local businesses. For example, like if you're a farmer or if you're running one of these operations. But it, with the good comes the bad, and it just came out today. The sir, and I have his name right here, and Seymour Hersh, who I was just looking at an interview, the one he did with Russell Brand there. The guy who essentially came out as a journalist and proved that the United States blew up the Nord Stream pipeline, which essentially proves that hostility towards Russia overrides common sense. And that's one of the points they made, and that's kind of interesting. It's like some people just want to see the world burn. It's like this propaganda machine, and then you're on the interwebs, you're on Instagram maybe this week, you're on the shorts, you're seeing all these crazy news listings or whatever, this bullshit about these clouds and these acid rains and these train derailments and what this stuff's probably always going on. Like, unless, somebody started knocking shit over. But the stuff's always going on. Why are they talking about it? Like, what else is going on that they're trying to distract from? You know what I mean? Like, why are they blowing us up? Why is the news all about, fucking balloons? Like, it's like, oh, balloon. It's like, oh, and then it's like all this fucking, like, weird environmental disasters everywhere. And they're covering all that shit, which is probably happening all the time, like normal. And then you go on, God forbid, you wade into the pool that is the shorts or TikToks. And it's just these crazy, like, the memes are all just, like, feds. Like, frankly, I'm pretty sure it's federal agents trying to meet quotas against, like, trying to capture people, maybe on the far right. Definitely in the United States. I don't know about here in Canada, but there's these federal agents that post, and they're trying to bait people into saying that they're willing to commit acts of sedition, which or acts of violence to try and arrest them, which is interesting, and that's really ramped up. And that's if you've been paying attention, that's kind of gotten really, really, really bad. Like, even the liberals now are like they don't even disagree with you anymore. Like, everyone's just kind of on the same page again. Isn't that starting to feel like that a little bit? Like, everyone's on the same page again, almost like all that left and right shit's starting to matter a whole fucking lot less. Like, I'm not even saying that, like, because I want it to be the truth. Like, it just really is the case. Like, I liked the culture war. I was having fun. Frankly, I'm a bit of a troll. But at least I stand behind my face, and put a mic in front of it. But essentially, these days, God knows what's going to happen next. Like, now that Russia has the casus belli, which is, by the way, like, I don't know what a casus belli, I think it's like, the casus belli is like Latin for reason for war. And they would have a wonderful casus belli, a case for war against the United States, with the fact that they're sabotaging infrastructure that's not affecting the military, but directly affecting the citizen population and affecting the livelihoods of millions of people. So another argument can now be made on the grounds that they did this, that the Americans have no moral authority in this battle. And in the eyes of, frankly, God, which is, in God we trust is printed on the dollar bill of every single American piece of paper. You know what I mean? As far as God's concerned, they have no fucking right to be in that country. And that's been obvious for some time now, but it's really obvious now. And everyone's kind of waking up to that fact. And hallelujah, frankly, because now we don't have to go to war and die in some stupid fucking fight. Imagine if, this happened in Vietnam. Like, they found out something like... Imagine if people had the ability to be aware like we are today, back then. We're so connected now, like, there's no excuse. If everyone's aware and everyone understands, like, consciousness is light. You know what I mean? Light is knowledge, and knowledge is power. There's too much power dispersed among the people to get away with this kind of, frankly, like, really, really sneaky shit. Like, they really thought they were going to get away with this. What other type of crazy shit do they think they can get away with? Killing Jeffrey Epstein? Their playbooks pretty much do the thing, and then, if you get called out for it, just print out 1,000 newspapers saying you didn't, and, like, confusing the situation into an oblivion. That's their playbook. But at a certain point, that only works for so long. That only works so many times before people are completely tuned in and aware of what you're fucking doing. And then if enough people are united against you, it won't matter if the military will fucking turn against you. They'll turn against you. These people are so, like, we are so moralistic. We're such an advanced people. Like, we won't submit to a silly, ridiculous tyranny just to fit psychological or physiological needs. We're actually so far above that as an art, as a type of poetry, as a people, as a culture. And you'll never watch us. We'll never lay down like we're naked dead bodies so you can walk over us. That's never gonna happen. You can drop the bombs. You can fucking poison every lake in the goddamn country. You can rain acid for 100 days. We'll dig underground and we'll live like fucking subterraneans. And then guess what? We'll come up and we'll take over the surface. And you won't be able to stop us. So you can keep playing games, but you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. You play cool games, though, you get good prizes. Why not play good games? There's so many good games to play. Unlike this Harry Potter, slop. Enjoy it, piggies. Fuck. When you're ready to play an actual game, hop on. And I'm not talking about Stardew Valley. City Skylines. You fucking girls would like that. Like, woman, you'll love that shit. You'll love City Skylines. You get to build cities. It's like The Sims, okay? You'll be into that. That's good stuff for you. But I don't think it's time to be sitting around playing, video games. I think most people are too busy, trying to survive, make money, make enough money to pay rent and eat food and feed their families and whatnot. They're not at home playing video games, so maybe it's better we focus on the present moment and worry about first things first, get our priorities in order, as a country, as a people. And maybe to help us do that, we aim a little higher. We call upon a higher power. I'm gonna say it. God, right? You gotta invite the universe into your life. You gotta acknowledge that you are the universe, and the universe is within you, and that by allowing yourself, you are, like, by submitting to the universe, you're submitting to yourself. It's like that. There's a song by Kinneret, who's like one of my favorite. I found her on TikTok. I fell in love with her at one point. I was, deranged. I tried to, like, message her and stuff. I thought I guess she's too cool for school or whatever. She's too popular. And I was trying to say, she had such a beautiful song called No Wind Resistance. And she's like, I've been here for 60 years and I'm still not bored. And I found out everything is made of cardboard. But I can run faster with no wind resistance. And then she says, some mind is an entirety, complete submission. complete submission, and she's submitting to the universe, and she is the universe. So she's giving herself put myself in complete submission and give myself complete permission, because she acknowledges that she's one with the universe, and by submitting to the universe, she's giving herself permission to live. It's a very beautiful, beautiful song, and it's very interestingly produced. And she's not like a typical artist who sat there and put thousands of hours in a studio or did all this crazy shit. She's just like raw, like put out that shit, some banger shit, man. I would love to do something like that, put together. I have a couple songs in mind, a couple fun ideas. You can say a lot more in music than you can on a podcast. I mean, they'll ban you on a podcast. They'll ban your podcast. They'll censor all your shit or whatever. But music, they just let you say whatever you want. You can fuck the devil and suck his dick, like Lil Nas X. That's okay. So I don't know. I think I would love to try my hand. I messed around with Fruit Loop Studio. Like, I have the software and whatnot, and I could totally bang out some bangers. Once I get some more time, would love to do that. And yeah, but that's kind of what I've been thinking about. I think there needs to be a unification amongst the people. I think people are slowly going to come to that conclusion as the pressure builds and they start to kind of come to Jesus, so to speak. I think everything's going to be okay. I think the most powerful thing in the entire universe is the power of forgiveness. Okay? Forgiveness is key. Forgiveness is the most powerful weapon. If we turn to a violent solution, the cycle will repeat. We need to teach these adult children, these pedophiles, these satanic elite, whatever you want to call them, the Bill Gates. I actually kind of like Bill Gates. I'm starting to like him again. You gotta teach them how to be people. You can't just shun them and shulk the responsibility of educating them. You have to stand up and teach them and do the right thing and take responsibility for that. Okay? If you have a better way of understanding and you have a more unified form of knowledge and truth that can provide more insight, then you have a duty to express that and provide that insight. If there is something inside of you that makes you feel discomforted or you feel like you have to say something, then you better damn well say it. You know what? Because we got a bunch of fucking criminals running the place. Nobody knows what they're doing. They're not talking. Nobody's speaking up. Nobody's relating. Nobody's talking about the things that we all know are happening. And whenever you bring it up, everyone's like, oh, look at that. Yeah, that's totally going on. But nobody's doing anything about it. So obviously we got to talk a little louder. We got to talk a little more. But that's okay, because forgiveness is the key, and that is the solution. At no point could we ever come to a violent solution. Even if we were unified, it would completely break the meaning. We would be just as bad as them. We would be just as bad as them. We need to show them and set an example that this fighting and use of violence amongst people to seize political power and economic power is entirely primitive and childish and beneath the true nature and consciousness of the human mind. And we need to set that example. We need to set that example for folks like Trudeau, who are on a hate campaign against half of Canada, who are on a hate campaign against a whole country like Russia, who are removing their products unjustifiably from their shelves in their hunger, in their devouring swarm, in their hunger for more to consume another country, to continue to feed their fucking machine. Okay? And it's true that every single human, there's not one of us who does not have thoughts of harming others. None of us, I'm not Jesus. We all have evil, dark thoughts. Okay? Every single human being. No one is excluded. And the ones who hide it and try to pretend they don't, they're often the worst ones. And if you know anything, you know that those are the ones you gotta keep an eye on, because they're fucking moving their hands, they're sliding around, they're in the shadows, they're snaking around in the grass. You know, some people you just can't let out of your eyesight. They got to keep their hands where you can see them. And that's all right, because we're all human. You know, at the end of the day, that's how we all are. That's how we were born into this world. That's how we survived. That's how we got to the point we are. That's why we've been fighting each other in these petty fucking wars. That's why we had a World War I, a World War II. That's why millions and millions of people have died in genocide. I'm going to do a whole episode on genocide, actually. I might even do a whole separate episode on genocide. All the different genocides, like the Armenian genocide, of course the Jewish genocide. It happened in Europe. They killed like half of like Germany's Jewish population, or half of, and then you have like, oh my gosh, there's so many different ones, and they're always for the silliest fucking reasons. The most childish shit. It's almost like there's a toddler who's like an adult toddler, like a man infant, like coming up with this crazy reasons just to like exterminate entire lineages. Imagine if you were just vibing like here in St. John, like in your life, okay, in this world, all right, in your wherever the fuck you live, okay, and then like somebody just came and some fat retard came over and started to like, he had like a bunch of other fat retards, like an army of them, and they just started killing off everybody, just they have complete disregard for human life. They have no love for anybody. We mustn't be like them. We must deny that aspect of ourselves. We must exercise it. We must forgive them. We must forgive this aspect of their nature and integrate and assimilate these people. We must bring them back into the fold underneath the shepherd. You don't want to have these people on the dark side. You don't want to let them leave them. You don't want to just cast them away. You don't want to become what they are and exterminate them to equify. Or that's not justice. That's not the justice that we want here on earth, to create this type of society that we really want. That's not the type of justice. We need to assimilate these people into the forgiveness faith. We need to assimilate them. And that's through a non-violent, loving process that is completely non-physical, frankly. Completely non-physical. It's a completely humanitized process of communication, actually, and it's not even it's a choice. It's always a choice, because that's what we, as humans, that's one that we were bestowed consciousness. We were bestowed the gift of consciousness. We were given that gift, so we always have a choice. It's just a matter of knowing what you don't know, knowing that you got that choice. So maybe, hey, you don't want to have an extermination. You don't want to do the genocide. Maybe there's a better pathway forward, so to speak. Maybe you just don't know what you don't know. Maybe we got to teach these fucking man children who probably grew up rich, frankly. They probably didn't have to work for anything. They probably had the silver spoon in their mouth. And, we teach them a little lesson in humanity. I think that's what it comes down to, ladies and gentlemen. And I'd like to end the episode on that note. Try and teach these monsters a little lesson in humanity in your day-to-day life. Don't shulk the responsibility. Don't hide away. Man up, stand up to them, put them in their place, and show them the light. All right. With that, I will leave you. Thank you so much for watching The Gist with Josh. I would like to do, if you've made it this far, I'd like to do a couple mentions. Okay. Well, first of all, I would like to plug once again, my Gumroad, The Gist with Josh. Link will be in the description. You can subscribe for $1. You're gonna get all the same content you get for free anyways. But if you like the content and you want to support the channel and you want access to it in case it does get removed for whatever reason, then you'll have that opportunity to now, because I've set it up. And also, I'd like to shout out my buddy Sam's, I'd like to shout out my friend and his store, Zebo Patch. and this little business that he started and is kind of grown into something beautiful. And he now has a full-on business around selling patches, very based patches, very, right-wing extremist Nazi-like patches, if that's your thing. No, not really. It's good shit. It's great, cool. It's like symbols from like World War I and II, and like it's almost like an ironic portrayal, and it's like very beautiful. It's almost like Gucci, like it's a bit like that, yeah. So I'm not trying to talk it up just because, anyways, it's like it literally has that like type of aristocracy air behind it. Anyways, I'm just putting it out there. ZeboPatch.com, code just with Josh for 10% off. I think it's 10%, maybe it's 20%. But and yeah, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching the Just with Josh. Have a beautiful night. And I feel like Russell Brand saying this, but honest to God, stay free, don't back down, fucking don't, keep it up, we're winning this thing, okay, hang in there, all right, God loves you, all right, God bless, say a prayer, amen. Have a beautiful night, ladies and gentlemen. This has been the Just with Josh, episode number 28.